This video will introduce how to check spindle speed by M-code. This example will demonstrate the state of PLC execution when the main program encounters MST code by using case of the spindle rotation. Application situation. When using M-code to command the spindle to rotate, it is necessary to wait until the rotation speed is enough before the completion of M-code, so that the machining can continue to execute. For the M-code and panel key control spindle, you can refer to the control spindle rotation by panel. For the judgment of spindle speed, please refer to the ladder of the flag of spindle speed arrival. We usually use M3, M4 and M5 to control the spindle. After M3 or M4 command is called, the system must wait until the speed check flag is triggered before judging that M-code execution is complete. M5 doesn't have to be checked. Spindle rotation state can be stopped by M5, reset button and emergency stop button. In addition, during machining, the operator is prohibited from using the panel to control spindle. Machine status diagram. The function of the MST code can be divided into two states, A50 finish and A51 execution. As the machine is booting, it will trigger the A50 state and C38 constantly. In this state, once the program read the M code, S29 will be triggered, and then A51 state will be triggered. The A50 state will be interrupted. In the A51 state, C38 output will also be interrupted. If the action condition is complete, the A50 state and C38 will be triggered again to allow the program to do the following processes. In this example, the complete condition of M3 and M4 is that the rotation speed arrival and the A70 will be triggered, but M5 is completed unconditionally without checking. Moreover, depending on which M code being read, the PLC device will display different information to identify the content of MST code. Application device. Here is a total device which we used to apply in this example. Note that here we replace I bit by S bit in order to convenient for testing in the simulator. Ladder diagram example. The top three rows of ladder diagram use S29 and R1 to judge which M code is read and trigger A103, A104 and A105 devices respectively to start the following functions. The logic follows the previous MSD designing of A50 and A51, details on the next page. The logic of M-code finish and execution. According to the left MSD, the initial condition of the A50 state is A0, upper triggered for booting, and using self-holding to maintain. The output of the C38 device is triggered in this state. This state is interrupted when the A51 state is triggered. Next, when the program read the M code, S29 will be triggered, which is the enable condition of A51 state. When A51 is triggered, it will also use self-holding to maintain itself and interrupt the A50 state so that the C38 device will be interrupted. Finally, in the A51 state, when the condition of MST action is finished, A50 state and C38 will be triggered again. Then the A51 state will be interrupted. The conditions of M3 and M4 is the flag of speed arrival, while M5 is completed unconditionally. It is suggested that the A50 connection of the C38 should be placed on the last line of the entire logic as an idiomatic coding technique. The logic of checking spindle speed arrival. Please see the previous example video for details. The flag of spindle speed arrival. The device A70 will be triggered after checking. The logic of starting spindle rotation. Based on the example of control spindle rotation by panel to expand. For the details, please see the following video. Operational timing analysis. The logic of M-code preprocessing. Because the PLC device will change when the M code is read. The device S29 can be used to connect to the comparator element of register 1 in series, so that we can know which M code is read now. The logic of M code finish and execution. Once the machine is booting, A0 will trigger the A50 state in C38. After reading M code, the system will trigger the A51 state and interrupt C38. When the M code condition is completed, A50 and C38 are triggered again to allow the program to do the following processes. Above the mentioned M3 and M4 command will be completed after the A70 is triggered. If the system executes M5 command, it will immediately trigger A50 state after A51 state is triggered. The logic of starting spindle rotation. Here take the spindle clockwise rotation as an example. It is a one-key switch function, which will self-holding after triggered, and will be interrupted by the output of counterclockwise rotation. Add A103 of the M3 command to trigger C64 function, and A105 of the M5 command can be used to interrupt spindle rotation. To avoid missteps, the S0 will interrupt the panel key during machining. The concept of counterclockwise rotation is exactly the same.